Romeo and Juliet is one of the most loved tragedies of Shakespearean era.
The reason that these plays are cherished even after the duration of a long time after they were first showcased is probably because they represent the themes of immature love.
So the guest for today's session is Randhir Vithana, and he has produced quite a handful of beautiful tracks featuring the theme of immature love. And 15 years later,
and today they are classics. Songs like Namal Mitak, which was released way back in 2007, and also songs like Malmada Hasa Pidena are still cherished by youngsters today. School is an important stage in our life. Most of the time, we do not realize how fleeting those moments are. School is filled with many exciting memories of us. So, Randhir, can you tell us the most exciting memory that you have of school?
Most exciting memory would probably be the first time I ever stepped on a stage was actually during school. So, it was during a school concert. That was pretty much the most exciting time, I'd say.
Randhir, can you remember the time when you were back in grade 6?
That was a long time ago, I do. That would have been the age where I think first discovered hip-hop music, I think. That would have been around that time, yeah.
Randhir, can you tell us about your most favorite subject at school?
Didn't have had a couple of favorites actually. So English literature was good, and for some weird reason I was pretty good at math. So yeah, those two I guess.
Thank you, Randhir. Speaking of losing track of time, there are always these places in life where you lose track of time. Those special places you go to when things are tough and you are facing hardships. What was that go-to place at your school?
The go-to place was always music, to be honest. I mean, music was an escape. So whenever things got tough, that's pretty much I just put my headphones on and just got lost in what I'm listening to. Other than that, back in the day when I was in school, I was a big reader, so I used to read a lot. So yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Music and books.
I'm sure that answer would be relatable to many Gen Z members out there. So moving on to our next question, since we were talking about school. School is not just about education, friends and learning or sports. School is also about the mischief. I'm sure you have been punished a lot of times in your school life. Randhir, can you tell us about your most unforgettable punishment that you have received at school?
Well, yeah, I was a bit mischievous, to be honest. I mean, I was a bit of a rebellious kid. So, I don't know, man. I was punished quite a few times. There's too many punishments to actually remember which one was the worst. But back in the day, they had corporal punishments. I think they still do. So we used to be caned and stuff. So, yeah, got caned a few times. Never got detention though. That was good. But yeah, I mean, I guess we were mischievous, but we weren't nasty. We were just kids being kids, I guess.
Thank you, Randhir. Randhir, if you ever get a chance to lay your hands on a time machine, which moment in school would you like to relive? What is that thing about school that you miss the most?
I actually left school after my O-levels, so went abroad afterwards. So I'll probably go back to that final year of O-levels. That one where I get to see my friends one last time.
Thank you, Randhir, for your answers. I'm sure our viewers will learn to appreciate the little time they have with their friends by learning about your answer. Life goes on and we move on. We start new things. Just like we get new friends at different stages of life. Randhir, we have heard that you have formed a new band. Can you tell us a little bit about your band?
Alright, cool. The band's called Boombox. There's altogether 6 of us. I was always curious about what it would be like to play with a band, and I have a lot of events coming up, and I thought it would be nice to have my own band, have control over, the kind of people that back me and stuff. And so yeah, basically I actually got approached by this band. They were already in existence before we formed Boombox, so they approached me and asked if I'd like to be frontman. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And yeah, so far so good. I mean, we're we're pretty busy, pretty booked. The music is good. The members are very, very committed, and yeah, things are looking fairly positive.
Randhir, we know that different bands have different sounds.
Yeah.
Can you describe a little bit about the uniqueness of the sound of your band?
Yeah, well, we're not an Oriental band. I'll tell you that. Okay, so our sound is sort of very R&B, very funk. You know, we play hip hop music. We play the Sinhalese classics. We play pretty much everything, but our sound is a bit sophisticated, I'd say. So, yeah.
Randhir, now that we learned about your band, I think it's the best time to listen to a part of your song. Can you please sing a little part of the chorus of Malmadahasa Pidena song?
Yeah, sure. Malmadahasa Pidena Nilne tuege vasana Senehasa pabalang vila Dutuvamatasa pasina Hadurendi shoka vetana Senekin yavi hingila
Malmadahasa Pidena Nilne tuege vasana Senehasa pabalang vila Ha ha Dutuvamatasa pasina Hadurendi shoka vetana Senekin yavi hingila Ayamage jive ben loke Ekamaga ave sansare.
So Randhir, we know that you have been in the music industry for a comparatively long time, and you have released many tracks and gone through various of experiences. Can you tell me how you exactly began this journey?
Actually started getting into music as a teenager, and was pretty much very curious about hip hop music to start with, right? So started learning how to rap, my own lyrics, recorded a few songs, all right. Formed a band for a while, then that band disbanded. From then on, pretty much started working with Bhati and Santosh. Then actually went abroad to study, and then came back to Sri Lanka, got back again with Bhati and Santosh, and for a good 6-7 years I was pretty full time, with them. And along the way, recorded a couple of songs, released some songs, and they became quite successful. So that's pretty much it, really. The rest is history, and here we are.
I'm sure that your life story is very inspirational to most of the youngsters. I myself have to admit that is true.
Oh.
So I'd like to ask you another question, that your solo hit, Namal Mita, I have to admit that when I first listened to it, my eyes were glued to the screen the whole time. I couldn't stop listening to it. It was really mesmerizing. What was the origin of this song?
It actually happened by accident. I mean, my friend Sachit Pires, who's a composer, actually did the music for it. And he'd done the music track for it already. And one day when I walked into the studio, I heard it play, and I was like, I've got a melody for this. Let's get some lyrics written and let's put this song together. And that's kind of how it happened. It kind of happened by accident, really. So not a huge story to tell there. It just happened by accident. Yeah.
So Randhir, since you have already explained about the origin of your song, your solo hit Namal Mita, so can you please sing a little of the first verse of that song?
Oh, yeah, sure. Namal Mita Sudu do tingaram Irima ute ekoi daki Divasalu endang Mahapolovata uding Piyamang kale Suranganak vagi
Yantang horeng Bilnetagin balala Adang bareng Yana hadi agene Esatakin Himi matanam sante Sakwiti rajeng Visakvala dinanam.
So many people in this world live with unique characteristics. Some see the life in an artistic side, they like to have a fully entertained life, while some others try to search the deep meaning of life and see a sort of philosophical side to it. I'm sure you have also a certain side in life, and if I may ask Randhir, how do you define life?
How do I define life? Wow, it's a very deep question. It is what it is, basically. I mean, I think life needs purpose. There's that, and purpose has to be based on something you're passionate about. Like, what do you enjoy? What's your passion? What can you do? With the most amount of commitment. I mean, you need to tie that in with purpose, and that's pretty much life, really. I mean, what else is there?
I really like your phrasing of life, and I'm sure it will inspire me in my future as well. So thank you for that.
No worries.
Randhir, I would also like to ask that you have performed Ujaya song with Uncle Sunil Pereira,
Yeah.
one of the greatest entertainers and personalities of Sri Lanka.
Yes.
I would like to ask you, when you see that, how do you look back at it right now?
Sunil Iyer was actually very supportive. He was a very supportive character. Like, when I wanted to remix his song, I approached him. I sat down with him. We had a meeting. He was more than happy to let me remix it. So he was very supportive. He basically said, "Listen, take the song, but make it your own. Do something very, very different with it. Something exciting." And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, he was a very supportive character. He's greatly missed.
Thank you, Randhir Raya, for your kind reminder on such a great personality. So my last question would be, in all honesty, all the kids do not like to take advices from others. I can come to vouch for that personally. So if you were asked to give some advice to the generation such as me, my co-host, as well as all of my friends, and what sort of advice would that be?
You asked the hard questions. Well, what I will say is basically, I mean, get as much exposure as you can to things outside of school and outside of the country as well. I mean, the world is a big place. Sri Lanka is one of many countries, and it's a very unique culture. But there are a lot of lessons to be learned outside of Sri Lanka as well, by traveling overseas, studying, doing, mingling with people from other cultures and learning their values and learning, various things, various lessons. Sometimes being in Sri Lanka, you kind of grow up in a bit of a bubble, and then when you go overseas, you realize how different the world is. There's a lot of positive lessons to be learned by traveling, of course, and you don't always have to travel. You've got the internet now, so you've got YouTube and various things and cable TV and all that stuff to learn things off as well. So, expose yourself to as much as you can, sort of new experiences, new positive experiences. Don't limit your life to just what you learn in books. Yeah.
Thank you, Randhir Raya. I think that will be my new motto from tomorrow onwards, and thank you so much for it.
No worries.
So, we know that you will be performing very soon, and I wish you all the very best for it, as well as for the upcoming gigs you have in the near future. Thank you so much for answering our questions. I wish you all the very best, as well as your band.
Likewise, thank you for having me for this interview. All the very best to you too.